Justin Odor, the second baseman, bats ninth.
And we'll take a look at the Sonic scouting report for Wei-Yin Chen. 7-3 on the season. He's had 16 starts. Had a poor start Saturday in his last start against the Rays. Only pitched 3 1/3 inning. That's his career low. Very few walks, the 5th fewest among American League starters with at least 10 games started, only 16. He's a control pitcher. The other thing he's done is he's pitched very well against the Rangers. He's had 3 starts against the Rangers, and they've gone very well. He's 3-0 with a 1.29 ERA in those 3 starts. Good changeup, great command of his fastball, really knows how to pitch.
Well, the 28-year-old left-hander Wei-Yin Chen is the progressive Baltimore defense tonight for you. Pearson left field, Jones in center, Markakis is in right. Davis at first, Scope and Hardy up the middle. Flaherty again to start at third base, and Nick Hundley, the only change in the lineup. He is catching tonight for Wei-Yin Chen. Chen, a 6-footer. He goes about 195 pounds. He is a Taiwan native and has been with Baltimore since 2012. He was 12-11 that year for the Orioles. Last year, there's some injury problems, only 7-7. They're back this year and 7-3 already. So set to get underway. Shin-Soo Choo will step in, and we are about an hour and a minute late getting underway. First pitch tonight is a strike. Choo, a .253 average with 7 home runs, 29 driven in. Shin-Soo was on 4 times last night. He had a single and walked 3 other times. 1-1 the count. And as you might expect, it's a very humid evening again here. The temperature, however, cooled off by the rain. Down in the mid-70s at the moment. And pitch pop foul. That will be back and out of play right below us. The ball and 2 strikes.
Well, if you were here, Buzz, around whatever it was, 5:30 or 6 o'clock, it didn't look like there was going to be baseball tonight. You couldn't even see the buildings out beyond the center field fence. It was coming down so hard. Looks good right now, but not sure what the rest of the night is going to bring.
Well, I just happen to have some information, Tom.
Well, let's have it.
The Orioles folks said that the window, there's that proverbial window again, it's between 1 and 3 hours tonight. They weren't sure exactly how much. But having said that, the Rangers felt that was sufficient uncertainty to not try and start Yu Darvish. So Ron Washington, with that information, said they didn't want to risk losing Yu Darvish after 2 or 3 innings here tonight, having the game rained out and not having him available for basically the whole weekend.
Well, if the window was a couple of hours or more, at least you could say if Darvish starts, there's a great chance it'll be a game that counts and it won't be rained out and you won't really waste him. But with 1 hour being a possibility, that pretty much made Ron Washington's mind up for him.
2 strikes out swinging, 1 out for Elvis Andrus.
It's 3 hours, great, but if it's 1 hour in your third inning and he's thrown 60 pitches or 50 pitches, he's pretty much done until his next start.
And the latest we heard regarding then when Yu Darvish would throw would be tomorrow, but that's also subject to change. We'll have to wait until after the ball game to figure that out. Here's Elvis, and he takes a knee-high strike. It's 0-1.
The other thing that comes into play on that is if he started today and stayed in rotation, there was a good chance that he would pitch right before the All-Star game and not be available in the All-Star game. If he pitches tomorrow or the day after, then he might only have 2 starts before the All-Star game and have plenty of rest and be much more available for the All-Star performance.
Yep.
So we'll see how that plays out too.
0-2 to Elvis. You saw him hitting at .262. And up the middle, that's into center field, a base hit. Well, Elvis got down 2 strikes, and Chen made a mistake over the plate. Elvis made him pay for it. 1 on and 1 out.
That's just a careless pitch by Chen, who's got pretty good command, but he did not come close to throwing that ball where he wanted to. Jumped out in front 0-2, gives Elvis a pitch up and out over the plate, and gives up an 0-2 base hit.
Pretty good idea what happens. Hundley, as you saw, was sitting inside. He had that target inside, preferably off the plate, I would imagine, and didn't get it there, and Elvis said thank you.
Yep.
So now Alex Rios comes to the plate. Rios back over 300, 305 with the average. A couple of hits last night. Pitch outside to him. Alex with 3 home runs, 35 driven in. The Rangers trying to find somebody that's swinging the bat well for the number 3 slot in the order. It's been a parade of folks. Lately it's been Carlos Pena, and Pena, after a fairly good start with the Rangers, kind of fell on hard times, 0 for 15. Ron Washington moving Pena down to the 7th slot tonight, trying Alex Rios. Rios had been struggling, but he's turned things around in this series. You can see 4 out of 12. Ahead of the count here, 2 balls, no strikes. Elvis stepping his lead off at first base as Chen checks it. To center field. That's hit pretty well. Jones is going back. He stops short of the warning track, makes the catch. Elvis tags and starts towards second, but a fine throw by Adam Jones makes Elvis retreat. That's out number 2.
Well, Elvis had tagged and he was ready to go to second in case Adam Jones wasn't quite ready for that tag up. But he was. Catches it in good position. Fires a 1-hop strike to second base. Elvis went halfway, saw the throw, and came back.
So Adrian Beltre now coming up. Adrian, a couple more hits last night. 335 the average. 9 home runs, 44 RBI. But just 1 for 10, or 1 for 9 against Wei-Yin Chen. A strike. Just nibbling at the outside corner. Beltre a single and a double last night. Drove in 2. He was 2 for 4 in the evening. Elvis the lead from first as Chen checks it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Adrian 4 out of 10 in this series, and he has a 6-game hitting streak that has seen him go 9 for 20. It's a 450 average. Again, Beltre loves hitting against Baltimore. It's fouled out of play to the right. The count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Last 14 games, Adrian Beltre hitting .455 with 9 home runs. That 6-game streak we were talking about, a home run and 6 driven in. Chen studying the signs. Elvis getting his lead over there at first. The 1-2 pitch coming to Beltre. Flaherty across the diamond, and that is on the money. Rangers gone on the first, no runs a hit, and they strand a runner after a half inning. Rangers nothing, Orioles coming up. And we'll take a look at the lineup that Buck Showalter's put together. Nick Markakis leads off. He's the right fielder. Steve Pearce in left field. Adam Jones plays center and bats third. Nelson Cruz, the DH, bats cleanup. Chris Davis at first. J.J. Hardy, the shortstop, is next. Jonathan Scope at second, bats seventh. Ryan Flaherty at third base. And Nick Hundley catching and batting ninth.
And our Sonic scouting report for tonight's pitcher, and it will be Scott Baker with a spot start. He's 0-1 and a .580 ERA, 2 starts, 9 relief appearances. But I think you just disregard the .580 ERA because he's pitched much better than that. He's been burned by home runs earlier in his outings, 4 relief outings of 6 of more than 5 innings. 6 2/3 was the most since 1980.
Well, Baker now facing Nick Markakis to lead things off. Baker fires a strike. Markakis, a .291 hitter. He has 7 home runs, 31 driven in. Baker's next pitch. And that's off the end of the bat. Elvis charging on the run, throws and gets him. Nice play by the Rangers shortstop. Well, Markakis retired, 1 gone for Steve Pearce.
Nice play by Elvis. Pretty good runner to get Markakis. We're talking about Scott Baker. His last long outing was 6 2/3. He pitched exceptionally well in that start. Total, he's had 4 starts of at least 5 innings, which is very unusual halfway through a season for a relief pitcher. Early in his stints with the Rangers, he was prone to giving up a home run. He gave up a number of home runs, but that's cooled down lately, and he's pitched much better. Given up 8 home runs in 40 innings, but most of those came in not the first 24 or 25 innings.
1-0 pitch to Pearce. Not 2-0. Well, if you're going to have a relapse, this would be the team you'd probably have it against as far as the home runs are concerned. They've been pounding the ball against everybody out of the yard.
Yep, this team, and right now.
Yep. Pearce has had 3 home runs in this series himself. And low and inside, 3 balls, no strikes. So Pearce hitting second, way ahead the count, trying to get aboard. The center fielder, Adam Jones, will follow. Pearce, a .322 hitter. And he has been on fire of late. Last 21 ball games. He's hit .355. There's a strike. Pearce had his first multi-homer game here on Monday night. Baker with a 3-1. That ball's hit well to center field. Martin going back at the track, at the wall. It's off the wall. And Pearce into second with a booming double to the 4-10 marker.
Well, that will pretty much, I think, determine, Buzz, how Scott pitches today, is his ability to get ahead of the hitters. If he gets locked into fastball counts, these hitters are going to take advantage of it. And that's what happened in that at-bat. The 3-0 pitch he was taking, it was pretty much the same pitch, but got a pretty good look at the speed of it and location of it. And then when he came back with the same pitch or thereabouts on the 3-1 pitch, Pearce, who was swinging a hot bat now, jumped on it and drove it to the deepest part of the ballpark, 410 feet away. Pretty much showed how important it'll be for Scott to get ahead tonight and not get behind the hitters.
Now, Pearce now 13 doubles go along with his 10 home runs, and that's only in 165 at-bats or so. It's about half as many as, or even less than half as many as some of his other teammates. Here's Adam Jones hitting a .307. Home run last night. He has 16 for the year. A breaking ball on the first pitch. Jones, as always, up there looking fastball on the first pitch. Didn't get it.
Well, you pretty much are making a big mistake if you throw him a fastball to hit on the first pitch. And best pitch is that pitch right there. You throw him a slider about 6 inches outside, he's going to swing at it, and you hope he makes some contact, just hits a little tapper back to the mound. If he threw that pitch right down the middle on a fastball, it was going to be hit on a good part of the bat.
Yeah, it was going to be 2-0.
Yeah, very good chance.
Most likely.
But of course, Jimenez and Scott Baker knew that. That's why they didn't do it.
There's a little looper out into right field, and it is going to drop for a base hit. They're going to hold Pierce at third. The Rangers kind of got caught with both middle infielders shading up the middle. Elvis Andrus had gone to the bag, and Rougned Odor was shading up the middle also. So it was a vacant right side.
Well, that's too bad because he got Adam Jones to swing at his pitch after the slider away. It's a fastball up and in, and it just really jammed him. And with a normal alignment, would have been an easy out, but with the shifting going on, it turned into a little blooper and a base hit.
I beg your pardon. That was Odor by himself over there. I thought Elvis had tried to sneak into the bag. It was Odor. So 2 on with 1 out. Runners at the corners for Nelson Cruz. Numbers for Nelly, a .280 average with 26 home runs. Drove in his 68th run last night. Baker's first pitch to him. Didn't really want to do it. That tailing fastball got inside on him at strike 1.
Location with it. Good movement. Good result.
Scott Baker from Shreveport, Louisiana, via Oklahoma State. He was the second round pick of the Minnesota Twins back in 2003. Signed with the Rangers as a free agent right at the end of spring training. Started the year in AAA and was up and down a couple of times. Has found a spot on this rotation, and with his versatility, a long man, a spot starter, even you've seen him 7th, 8th inning a couple of times. He can do a lot of things for you. Right-handers ready. The 0-1 pitch. A cue shot down to first. Coming home is Pena. The throw, the tag. They got it.
Good heads-up play by Carlos. Knew that he was going to have a hard time turning a double play on the slowly hit ball. He looked up and saw he had a shot at the runner. If you're only going to get 1 out, get the lead runner. He made a good throw and he got Pierce at the plate. Great pitch by Scott. Nelly hit that ball right off the end of the bat. And a heads-up play by a veteran first baseman and a good accurate throw. A less experienced first baseman, sometimes that throw doesn't go right straight to the catcher.
Yeah,
and we've seen that.
We sure have. And sometimes it doesn't get made. Sometimes you don't have the understanding of that play to try that.
Yeah, you throw to second base, get the lead runner, run scores, and got a man on first base. You're down 1-0.
Well, Chris Davis now will step in. Runners at first and second, but with 2 outs. And Davis' first ball swinging. It's out of play to the left. Time for it. Very little hesitation in that play.
And, if you make a wide throw off the base on the first base side, then the runner's safe. Looks like a simple play, but a couple of times this year it hasn't been so simple. You've got the veteran first baseman over there who's made that play a few times in his career.
0-1 to Chris Davis, 206 the average. Davis snapped an 0 for 21 streak last night with a single late in the game. Throw to second base. Going to third is Jones. He will make it safely. Adam Jones baiting Chris Jimenez into throwing the ball to second. And as soon as Jones saw the throw going through, he set sail for third.
And gets a big lead. And you might be giving him a little bit of credit, Buzz.
Yeah, I think
as far as baiting him goes, but it definitely worked to his favor.
Well, let's put it this way: he got the throw to second.
He got the throw to second and made it safely to third for sure.
Well, no great harm done.
No, just get the hitter.
0-2 the count to Chris Davis. Now runners at first and third. to right field, but right there, won't get Odor for the 4th time in this series.
Driving him crazy.
Yep, it sure is. That'll do it for the Orioles. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. On to the 2nd, scoreless in Baltimore. Them in honoring the former team president, Ambassador Tom Schieffer. That'll be at the Dr. Pepper Texas Rangers Hall of Fame luncheon coming up on August 22nd. That's at the Arlington Convention Center. You can hear his stories about the construction of Globe Life Park and behind-the-scenes stories from his years with the Rangers. To purchase tickets, visit TexasRangers.com/Hall of Fame. Scoreless ball game as the Rangers come to bat here in the top of the 2nd inning. Leonis Martin to lead things off. Wei-Yin Chen to work, and the first pitch is high for ball 1. Leonis showing bunt. That had Ryan Flaherty, the third baseman, coming down the line. You remember last night, just prior to being picked off, Leonis Martin dropped down a great bunt. That was in the 7th inning. Chen missing outside, 2-0. Martin, 275 the average, 3 home runs, 23 RBI. 2-1. Infield for Baltimore playing maybe a step around to the right. Outfield just about straight away. Scope, the second baseman, on to first. One gone for Chris Jimenez.
Number 60, Chris Jimenez.
Wei-Yin Chen, a couple of ground outs tonight. 1 fly ball out and 1 strikeout. Chris Jimenez will step in batting at .299. Just that 1 click below 300. He is 2 out of 8 on this trip. 1 for 4 in last night's game. Chris still looking for his first Ranger home run. He's driven in 9 and takes a strike. Rangers back in one of their home run droughts again. They are still next to last in the American League. A lazy fly ball to center field that Tom Jones takes care of. 2 gone. Carlos Pena coming up. Rangers this year just 57 home runs. City, the only one with fewer. And Rangers have not had a home run in 3 straight. They just had 1 home run in their last 5 games.
The Rangers have 4 left-hand hitters in the lineup tonight against the lefty Chen. And the reason probably is because left-hand hitters have hit so well against Chen this year. In fact, left-hand hitters against Chen have hit over 350. He's actually been much tougher on right-handers than he has left-handers.
Carlos Pena, first ball swinging, hits it deep to left field. Steve Pearce back right in front of the wall and makes the catch. About 3/4 of the way back on the warning track. Rangers out in order. We'll move on to the bottom of the second inning, a 7-pitch inning for Chen. Rangers defense is delivered to you by DeMontron RV. Outfield of Michael Choice, Leonis Martin, and Alex Rios, left, center, and right. Carlos Pena at first. Rougned Odor and Elvis Andrus up the middle with Adrian Beltre at third. Chris Jimenez behind the plate. Rangers coming in with a 980 fielding percentage. That's 14th in the American League. And 60 errors committed by the Rangers. So Scott Baker, after his second inning, gave up a couple of hits in the first, but was able to escape any damage in the run column. J.J. Hardy to lead things off. Baker fires strike one. Hardy hitting 297, a couple of home runs. 21 driven in. Going outside. Baker winds, and the pitch is popped up. Around the mound, Rougned Odor coming in from second base. That's out number one.
Like Scott was pulling an Adrian Beltre on that ball. The ball is 20 feet behind him. He has glove up like Adrian likes to do.
That must be a veteran move.
Yeah, watch Scott.
I got it.
Here's where it is. He's going to back up, put his glove up and catch. Oh, I think I'll let Rougned do it.
He might think he has it there, but no, I don't.
He might have been in trouble if it was up to him to catch it. But he made the pitch to get that pop-up. Nice going.
One gone. Here's Jonathan Scope.
Scope, good pitch to Scope, too. We've seen him like to swing at that first pitch. Threw him a little slider on the first pitch instead of a fastball as well.
Scope with 224 average. He was hit well in this series. Rip another slider.
Definitely a fastball hit. I like the story in the paper today. Wayne Kirby. Scope was struggling in the first half of the season. Wayne Kirby suggested he clean out his entire locker, take everything out of the stadium, then come back into the stadium and put it back in his locker as if to say, okay, my brand new season starts right now. And it's worked for him. He's had a good series against the Rangers. There's Wayne Kirby. Used to be a Ranger player development guy. Coach at first base for Buck Showalter now. It's a pretty good idea, though. I like it.
Yeah, it is.
Now, if he said to him, son, go clean out your locker, he'd probably created some major anxiety in Scope, who might have thought he was getting sent out, but after that cleared away, sounded like a good idea.
What was that they had in Major League? The red card in the locker. See a red card in your locker, you're gone.
Yeah. I remember the one scene in Bull Durham, I think it was, when the manager and the coach called the player in to release him. That was so real. That's been done 10,000 times in the minor leagues. Just like that. It's a terrible day for the player. It's a terrible day for the manager who has to bring him in and tell him.
1-2 pitch again to Scope. And this one popped up. Rougned Odor busy this inning on the pop-ups. 2 gone.
And there's usually 1 or 2 big days in spring training in the minor leagues where you have to make your cuts to get down to the playing limits for your minor league teams. Everybody knows it's coming. You know, the players sense there's 160 people for 130 spots. They know it's coming. And the managers and coaches and executives who have to make those decisions and then tell the players. I know when we used to do that in Plant City in the minor leagues, no one slept the night before because you anticipated the people you had to talk to, what you were going to say, how it was going to break their heart, how tough the conversation would be. And I won't say it's harder for the people doing the informing to the player, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close. That's a terrible day when you have to basically tell some of the minor league players that, at least for now, that their dream is coming to an end.
Yeah,
that's not fun.
I can see where that would really be a problem. I know how tough it was to hear that in my own case. That was not fun, but that would be tough for managers, general managers, farm directors. Ryan Flaherty at the plate. Flaherty had the big home run last night to put the Orioles on top to stay. That was his 4th home run of the year. Off Neil Kotz last night, way up toward Utah Street in right field. Ahead of the count here, 2 balls and a strike.
I've got a little story to tell. I'm not going to tell it now with 2 outs. I'm going to wait till the next inning about a release that we had at the minor league camp.
Okay.
A long time ago.
2-2 now. I would bet over the years, too, you see the full gamut of emotions and things that are said, and all the way from anger to relief.
There's some times where the player cries. There's some times where the player gets extremely belligerent and almost wants to fight. Yeah, it does. It runs the complete gamut. And, all you can tell the players, this is our opinion, but it's only our opinion. We may be wrong. And in a lot of cases, you are wrong. The player gets released, comes back, and ends up being a big leaguer.
Well, a couple of pop-outs and a fly-out, and the Orioles gone in order. We're going to go on to the 3rd inning here in Baltimore. Rangers nothing, Orioles nothing. And that's thanks to the good folks at AT&T. Just use hashtag SouthwestFanPhoto, and your photo might be selected to be aired during the season. We'll have a selection each night. The selection for tonight will be revealed a little bit later on this evening. Well, Michael Choice stepping in to lead off the Ranger third. No score. Rangers with 1 hit. The Orioles with 2. Michael Choice, 8 home runs, 28 driven in, hitting 8th in the order. Wei-Yin Chen's first pitch. Tapped right back to the mound. Chen on to first, 1 away.
I was going to tell a story about a release that we had in Plant City a long time ago. We had a player in camp, a pitcher named John Pacella. And John Pacella and I were teammates with the Mets back in the 70s. And John was trying to make a comeback, and he was in minor league camp, and it wasn't going that great for him. And toward the end of spring training, during our meeting, we decided that we were going to have to release John. And so I was the one that was going to go back out to the field, to the clubhouse, to let him know that. And when I got to the ballpark, I got out of my car anticipating that he would be in the clubhouse and I would have that discussion. He wasn't in the clubhouse. He was out on the field running wind sprints down the right field line, and his wife and little boy were sitting in the grass waiting for him to get done. And I knew he had to go back to the office for his expense money, and I said to myself, I am not going to go tell him that in front of his wife and son. So I went back to the office, and right next to the office there was a little hospitality room. So I anticipated it would take him a while to get back there, and I went into the hospitality room. Well, he didn't change and shower. He just got in the car and went back to pick up his expense money for the next week. And Judy Johns was my assistant and secretary back then. She unfortunately passed away a while back, much too soon. She was a secretary for Joe Klein. She was an assistant for Doug Melvin, John Hart, John Daniels. She's in the organization for a long time. She was back in the office, and John walked in to get his expense money, and she kind of looked at him and didn't say anything because she knew that she didn't know whether I'd released him or not. And he said, I'm here for my expense money. So the way he said it, she thought he was saying, I want my expense money for the next week. The expense money she had was his plane fare for having been released. And she said to him, Woodnett swings and misses for strike 3. Have you talked to Tom? And he said to her, why? Have I been released? And she said, wait a minute. And she came back over to the hospitality room and she said, don't you ever do that to me again. And get back in there and talk to him. And so for the people that remember Judy, they probably anticipate exactly how that conversation went. I just said, yes, ma'am. Yeah. But then I had to go back in and talk to John Pacella, and that was not a pleasant conversation for me, although he was very professional about it.
I can understand with his wife and little son there that wouldn't have been the most comfortable thing to do.
No, that wasn't going to happen.
No. Oh, man.
If that was the only way it was going to happen, I would let him play a couple more weeks and not even do it at all.
A ball and a strike now to Shin-Soo Choo. Choo went down swinging to start things off tonight. Wei-Yin Chen with the strikeout of Rougned Odor now has 2 punch-outs through the first 9 Rangers that he's faced.
You know, teams do it in all different ways, but we always tried to be as personal as we could and have someone sit down and have a conversation that would last as long as the player wanted it to last. And we tended to use coaches or managers or executives that knew the player the best and had the best rapport with him to be the one that had that conversation. And so on the day where you might have 15 or 20 young players to release, you tried to catch them as they got to the ballpark. And the players saw what was happening, and the people that were doing it, were trying to be as discreet and compassionate as they could be as they tried to pick the players, go to the player, have the conversation. It's going on outside, in the clubhouse, in the locker room, and it's just a terrible day. Terrible day.
Ron Washington's talked about that, about being very, very difficult. Now the 2-out walk put Shin-Soo Choo aboard for Elvis Andrus. Andrus, the lone Ranger hit tonight. That was the first inning single. 1 on, 2 out. Elvis now hitting at 264 as Chen sets. Pretty good changeup. Down and away for strike one.
You know, you have those conversations. I can remember having a conversation with Tony Fossis, who was a Double-A pitcher for 3 or 4 years, and his career really wasn't going in an upward direction, and came in to talk to me one day, and he said, I just want to know where I stand in the organization. This was in spring training. I said, well, to be honest with you, you're probably not regarded as a prospect, and it's going to be touch and go whether you make a ball club coming out of spring training. And he said, well, thank you very much. I'm glad to know where I stand. And the next time, you know, we released Tony, and the next time I saw him, he was pitching in the big leagues. And about 3 or 4 years later, he pitched in the big leagues for 7 or 8 years. And the first thing he said to me was, remember that conversation when I asked you where I stood? I said, I sure do. I'm glad you had a lot of confidence in yourself and decided to keep playing.
Yeah. Elvis Andrus a base hit, 2 on and 2 out. Alex Rios coming up. Let's take time here for a Mazda game break with John Radigan. John? All right, John, thank you. Here's a scoreless ball game, and Alex Rios now a chance to change that. He has runners at first and second with 2 outs. Rios skied to pretty deep center field his first time up. Shin-Soo Choo at second base, Elvis Andrus at first. Hits in this game now are even at 2 apiece. That is just off the outside corner from Chen. 1 ball, no strikes. Rios, 4 out of 13 in this series. He, like Adrian Beltre, has enjoyed hitting against these Orioles. A .330 average in the last 26 games against Baltimore. That's out of play down the right side. The count evens now at 1 ball and a strike.
That's one in the back of your mind. You're thinking, whoa, boy, did I miss my shot right there. Alex has only hit 3 home runs. If he's going to hit his 4th home run, that's the kind of pitch that would be very apt to be the one to do it with.
That was rolled out weakly to second base. Scope on to first, and that'll do it. Rangers get a hit in the walk, but Strand 2. Well, you finish 2.5. It's the Orioles nothing, the Rangers nothing on Fox Sports Southwest.
Are still scoreless here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards, and Mother Nature wreaking all kinds of havoc on the Rangers' travel schedule. It's already of course, mess with the starting rotation. Yu Darvish set to go now in the opener tomorrow at Citi Field against the Mets. Nick Tepesh was supposed to make that start. He was going to go ahead and travel ahead of the team to get there and get settled in case we ran into weather tonight. Nick decided, because of all of the craziness at the airports in and around the area here on the East Coast, that he would just stay put with the team. Obviously, he's not needed tomorrow, but things still being determined for us as a group, how we will get to New York, whether we'll be by plane or bus. So Chris Lingus, the Rangers traveling secretary, busy at this hour trying to figure out the best way for us to get to the Big Apple. Guys, if I find anything out, I will definitely keep you posted.
I'm all ready to stick my thumb out and get up there some way like that. I don't know if we get a truck to take us up there. Or we'll figure out something.
They might get you nearby. I doubt they're going to take you right to the door, though.
Don't think?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. 2-0 pitch. That's hit to left center field. That is up the alley. It's going to the wall. Hundley into second with a stand-up leadoff double. And Nick Hundley, with his first start in the series, pays dividends starting off this third inning.
So the Rangers had Hundley played around toward right center field. Martin is well over in right center field, and the pitch is away, but Hundley reaches for it and actually pulls that ball to left center field. You can see how far Martin has to go, just between Michael and Leonis.
Hundley with his second double of the year. He is now in scoring position with nobody out in the top of the order coming back up. Nick Markakis, he grounded out to short to begin things. We'll step in. Rangers playing the left-handed hitting Markakis well around to the right side. Scott Baker firing one to the outside corner for strike one. Baker 31 pitches, 22 of them strikes. And that pretty much is Scott Baker's MO. A lot of strikes. Trying to work around a leadoff Hundley double. In the dirt, Jimenez able to block that pitch. 1-1 the count. Markakis just 1 out of 13 in this series. He's bottled him up pretty well. He is, as we all know, a very, very dangerous hitter. Pitch foul back as Baker got in on his fist. A ball and 2 strikes. Scott Baker at 6'4", about 215 pounds. Rubbing up that new baseball and now planting that foot on the extreme first base side of the pitching rubber. As the signee wants, Baker a check of second. Davis, how in the world he hit that? Got a piece of it. That ball might have hit him in the knee had he not fouled it on.
Changeup way out of the strike zone. That would have been a tough ball for Jimenez to catch if he swung and missed at it.
I know Markakis is trying to pull the ball to get the runner over, but that's ridiculous.
Good try.
Yeah. Another 1-2 is in the offing. He gets jammed there and rolls one down to Wayne Kirby at first. Jimenez is going to go out and have a little chat with Scott Baker.
Can't go wrong with the location of that pitch. You hope he swings it down.
Yeah. But Jimenez is going to ask Baker, he said, okay, we've gotten inside on him real good twice. Do you want to stay in there or do you want to go away with something?
I might go with an old dipsy doodle, slow curveball right on top of the plate. Drop that slow thing in there. See how many times he can swing at it.
He didn't try the The old yellow hammer, would you?
Yeah, same thing. Slower version of it.
Slower version?
Yeah.
Okay. A ground ball to Elvis. Elvis thinking about third, but Hundley had too good a break. And on to first for the out. Markakis gets the job done, but only because Hundley got a great break on that.
I think Elvis looked up and probably saw that he was a little bit closer to third than he would like to make the throw. He's also right between Adrian and the throw.
Yeah.
And he might have been a little bit worried of how he's going to get the ball to Adrian without hitting the runner.
Looked like Hundley might have bowed out a step or so before he get in the way of Elvis's throw.
Right.
So one out now with Hundley at third. The Rangers will pull the infield in. Steve Pearce, the hitter. Pearce had a booming double to deepest center field his first time. 1 ball, no strikes. Pearce now at 327. 10 home runs, 27 RBI. He is 4 out of 11 in this series. Baker working from the stretch with Hundley at third. Base hit to left field. Hundley made sure it was going to fall. Trots down the line to cross home plate. And Steve Pearce, continuing to do it for the Rangers, puts the Orioles on top 1-0.
Well, he's watching a player get an opportunity and take advantage of it. I told this story a couple of times during this series, but based on where he was at the beginning of the season and where he is now, it's a whole different world. There's a pitch that Scott would like to have back, a hanging slider. Stays right in the middle of the plate. Pearce is hot, and you know, when you're hot, you're finding holes. You're also getting good pitches to hit. Then you have to take advantage of it. He's certainly doing that.
Well, the Orioles now a run on 4 hits. Pearce has half those, and Adam Jones has 1/4 of them. He singled his first time up. Infield will shift maybe a couple of steps to the left for the right-handed hitting Jones. Pitch inside and hitting. Adam Jones very calmly reaches down and takes off his shin protector. Heads to first, and there are Orioles at first and second with 1 out for Nelson Cruz.
You can see that Chris is inside. He's trying to jam him with a pitch. That's what he did, is base hit that he got the first time up. He ran that fastball way in on his fist, got him to swing at it, jammed him. He's trying to do the same thing right there. The ball just got away from him. In that situation, he's definitely not trying to brush him back or hit him. He's trying to make a good pitch, knowing that Jones is a free swinger and have to swing at that pitch up and in if he can make it close. Just got away from him a little bit.
Well, Pearce down to second, Jones at first. Nelson Cruz grounded into a fielder's choice. He was the one that hit the little squibber down to first that Carlos Pena fired home to cut down Pearce, trying to score from third in the first inning. Which is high. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Cruz 2 for 13 in this series. 1 for 4 last night. He hit a line drive home run the other night. I don't think I've seen one hit much harder in this ballpark.
It sure was.
Baker back on top. Cruz waiting. Now the 1-0 pitch. Good off-speed pitch. Baker getting that pitch down, and Cruz swinging through it.
That's pretty much the pitch he was trying to throw to Steve Pearce. Wanting hung. Pearce in left field for a base hit. Yeah, right where he wanted to, no.
Jimenez flashing the signs out. Baker picks one out. Looping line drive to Belter. The throw back to second, and they got him. They double off Steve Pearce at second as Beltre fired to Odor. Side retired, but the Orioles take the lead. They get a run on 2 hits and strand one. We will go to the 4th inning. It's now the Orioles 1, the Rangers nothing. Back there. That's great.
Yes, so.
Now the Rangers now trailing 1-0. Adrian Beltre will lead off the 4th inning against Wei-Yin Chen. Beltre takes the breaking ball in for strike 1. Adrian grounded out to his counterpart, third baseman Ryan Flaherty, back in the 1st inning. Chen's next pitch is a little topper foul. Chen going with another slow breaking ball to Adrian. Beltre mentioned the .455 average against Baltimore in the last 14 games. He's hit safely in 23 of the last 25 games against the Orioles. Back over the longer streak, and he's hit at .402 clip in those 25 games. The 1-2. Base hit to right field. Adrian going the other way, and the Rangers have their leadoff man aboard for the first time tonight. Jonas Martin coming up. Well, folks, on the 7th day of the 7th month, the Rangers are bringing you $7 tickets. Plus, Papa John's is activating the Rangers 7 special all day long. Log on to TexasRangers.com/specials to get the $7 ticket offer today and take in the Astros game with the Rangers. And, what a great deal that's going to be. Jonas Martin, a ground ball to second, his first time up there. Chen misses low and outside for ball 1. Jonas 2 out of 8 in this series. Both those hits coming in last night's game. Sit safely in 9 of his last 11 ball games. Fouled straight back. 1 ball and 1 strike. You were with us during the rain delay prior to the start. You saw that great catch that our team made last night on Nelly Cruz, taking the ball from over the fence and bringing it back in. This ballpark has had a history of seeing some of those. Remember the catch that Mike Trout made in right center field here, going way up. It's one of the things that when they designed this ballpark, they wanted to keep the fence, for the most part, at 7 feet high to encourage plays like that. And they've seen a lot of them over the years. Most ballparks have 8-foot, 9-foot, 10-foot walls, but here they kept it at 7. Now the 1-2, and another foul ball. Now let's take a look at an AT&T rewind, that play that we were just talking about. Nelly Cruz sending one to deepest left center field, and Jonas Martin said, no, not tonight, my friend.
Key to that play is get back, wait for the ball, and then jump up. You drift after it, it becomes a much more difficult play.
Chen again with a 1-2 pitch. Look at him swing. Pretty good hammer. And, Martin strikes out. 3 strikeouts now for Wei-Yin Chen. 1 gone. Chris Jimenez will come up.
I mentioned earlier that left-hand hitters during this season have had good success against Chen. They're hitting .352 coming into the game. But left-hand hitters have not had a base hit against him tonight. There's 4 of them. Chu, Martin, Pena, and Odor. Chu worked a walk. That's the only base runner from the left side.
Yeah, you mentioned the success left-handers have had. We also talked about the success that Chen has had against the Rangers. Which takes precedent? If you're a Ranger left-handed hitter, do you have a better or worse chance?
I guess the past would tell you it's worse, but I'm not sure how many times our left-hand hitters have faced him.
Yeah.
Odor hasn't. Pena's probably faced him, but he faced him as a different team, with a different team.
Same thing with Chu.
Same thing with Chu. So I don't know. But it's definitely been the case in his 3 starts against the Rangers that lefty or righty hasn't done a whole lot against Chen. He's 3-0 with a 1.29 ERA.
Yeah.
Well, it was 1.29 coming into the game. It's less than that now.
Not a whole lot of damage done from either side of the plate.
No.
2-0 the count to Chris Jimenez. Jimenez a fly ball to center, his first time up there. Beltre at first. And Jimenez ropes one fair down the left field line. That's headed to the corner. Beltre to third base. He's going to be stopped there. Into second with a 1-out double, Chris Jimenez. And the Rangers are in business. Runners at second and third, and just 1 out.
Well, Chris has put a couple of good swings on the ball in this series. Last night he hit a shot in the gap to right center field on a pitch away. This one's supposed to be away, but it comes in, and Chen pays the price for that. He threw it on the other side of the plate, and Chris had a great swing at it. Lined it over third into the corner.
Now, Chris Jimenez is 9th double of the year. Beltre stopping at third. He is the tying run, and Jimenez representing the go-ahead run here in the 4th inning. Carlos Pena flied out deep to left field back in the 2nd inning. Orioles will play the infield bat with 1 out. High and tight, 1 ball, no strikes.
Carlos just missed that ball. He's had a lot of balls like that, but the one today to left field, he hit that one on the good part of the bat. He just got underneath it. Some of them have been good swings, but just haven't quite hit the sweet spot of the bat. They've been a little off the end, a little off the handle. That one was right in the center of the bat. Just got underneath it. Still almost hit it out, right to the warning track.
Lays off that high fastball. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Our Ford leaderboard showing you the team averages against left-handed pitching, and the Rangers still at the top of the American League at 278. Tigers are next 5 points lesser than the Rangers, than the Angels and Orioles on down the line to 270 for Baltimore.
Tigers might have gone up today. They had 5 runs in the 1st inning against Eric Bedard.
That's right.
Hit 3 home runs against him.
Yeah, that was not a good start for Bedard. Good beginning.
No, not at all.
2-0 the count to Pena. Chen from the stretch. And Pena will get the run home as Scope moves to his right, throws out Carlos. In to score is Beltre. The RBI for Pena, his 2nd as a Ranger. And we have a brand new ball game. A 1-1 score with Jimenez going over to third.
Well, Carlos hit that ball hard too. directs that ball a little bit more up the middle. It's a base hit and scores 2 runs instead of 1. We had the one we talked about that he just missed a home run onto left field. Now he just missed a 2 RBI single. But with the infield back, he does pick up an RBI.
Yep. Sure did.
Name of the game. Put it in play, especially with the infield back. Use the center of the field.
Well, Michael Choice takes strike 1. Carlos Pena getting the job done. Now Michael Choice will try and work some 2-out magic. You got Jimenez at third. Michael swung at the first pitch he saw from Chen tonight and tapped right back to the mound. 0-1 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Michael scuffling quite a bit now. He is 0 for his last 11. Still has had some big RBI. He's got 28 driven in this year. Takes the changeup that floats outside. It's 2-1. Chris Jimenez, a double. Moved to third base on the run-scoring groundout by Carlos Pena. 2-1, the count to Choice with 2 outs. Going inside, he goes 3-1. So now Michael in a pretty good spot. See if Chen goes to the standby of with a left-handed hitter in the on-deck circle, whether he works around Michael Choice since he's fallen behind 3-1, or if he goes right after him. Nick Hundley flashing the signs out. Chen is ready. He went right after him. Michael had a pretty good rip at him. Count now is full.
That's one of those pitches that you want to take advantage of. It's right down the middle of the plate. It's a fastball count. You get the fastball and have a good swing at it, but that's one you got to cash in on those.
Now the payoff pitch. Popped him up. Near the mound. Got Chris Davis coming down the line and calls everyone off to make the catch, and that'll do it. Rangers tie it up. They get a run on 2 hits and lead 1. After 3.5, it's now the Rangers 1 and the Orioles 1.
Bottom of the 4th here in Baltimore, and more travel stories to pass along to you guys as catcher Giovanni Soto headed out to begin his rehab assignment. He's got a couple of weeks to work his way back before he rejoins the big league club. That will present an interesting situation for this team as far as the catcher spot is concerned. Obviously, we've talked about Chris Jimenez and the job that he's been doing tonight. Obviously, Robinson Chirino with a solid outing or start to the season, I should say, as well. I think that's why you've probably seen Jimenez working some at first base. Definitely plenty of holes to be filled in this Rangers lineup. Perhaps they carry 3 catchers. Who knows? Definitely time to sort that out, as it'll take a couple of weeks, as I mentioned, for Gio to work his way back. But he says he is so excited to get back, hopes to provide some energy and a good vibe in the clubhouse when he gets back, and maybe a fresh perspective from behind the plate.
Yeah, Chris Davis leading off here in the bottom of the fourth. He hooks one foul into the seats. It is 0-1. Yeah, good stuff, Emily. That's Giovanni Soto. Like everybody else, you really feel like you're kind of divorced from the club when you're on the disabled list. You can't do anything.
Derek Collins said that, and I know exactly what he's talking about. That's just what you feel like.
Yeah.
Everybody's nice to you. You're welcome in the clubhouse, but you're not part of the team.
Right, exactly. And that may be the part of the problem is everybody's nice to you. Nobody will get on you. Or not much.
It doesn't really matter whether you're a rookie or a veteran. That pretty much, that's what you feel like when you're on the disabled list.
1-1 the count to Davis, who grounded out to second. And deepest the infield spot in right field where Rougned Odor is. Odor is moving back each time. He's now, that's got to be 60 feet out beyond the cut of the grass.
He's so far back. The last ball that Chris hit to Odor, when he hit it, the fans cheered. It went through the infield. They thought it was a base hit. And all of a sudden, whoops, there's Odor.
Yeah, Davis caught looking as Baker hit the outside corner. And for Scott Baker, his first strikeout tonight. One gone.
That was a good at bat for Scott. The first ball that he hooked foul was a changeup that he was out in front of. Then he was a little bit late on a fastball. And then he takes a high changeup for called strike 3.
A one gone. Here's J.J. Hardy, who popped out to second. 1 ball, no strikes. Hardy at 296. Gold Glove shortstop. Couple of home runs, 21 RBI. Baker back to him. That will even the count. Hardy now 5 out of 12 in this series. He was 2 for 4 last night with an RBI. To right field, that is just foul.
That would have been some kind of hit. That ball was a foot outside.
Jeff Nelson, the first base umpire, had to turn around. He had time. He had plenty of time to turn around. That ball not hit very hard.
It was close, within a foot. Hit that right off the end of the bat. It's about as far as he could reach to hit that ball.
So 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Hardy. And Alex Rios, he would have taken Alex a while to get over there, even as fast as he is. He's playing way over in right center field. Got him swinging. Didn't have to worry about it there. Back-to-back strikeouts for Scott Baker in his first 2 of the night.
That was a perfect slider.
Second baseman, number 6.
Nice sharp break to it, right down where Hardy's can't do anything with it, but he's probably going to swing at it. Hardy's another one of those Oriole hitters who doesn't walk. But he's got great hand-eye coordination. He makes contact. Couldn't make contact with that. That was just where he wanted to throw.
No, 2 outs now, and here's the young second baseman, Jonathan Scope. Check swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did. Scope down to Jeff Nelson.
Scope's the same kind of hitter. He's a first ball fastball hitter, dead fastball hitter, and he will expand the strike zone as well.
The 0-1. Just keep hacking at that slider. He's not going to hit that if you keep it there.
Pretty good formula, and he will swing at it. Talk about guys that don't walk. Scope is right there with Adam Jones, right there with J.J. Hardy. He's got 246 at bats. He's only walked 7 times.
It's that one well to center field. Martin going back at the track, reaches up and makes the catch.
Wow.
Well, Leonis just simply outran that ball, making the leap right at the last second. Martin pulls it in, his second outstanding catch in the last couple of nights. Oh, the Orioles are gone thanks to this, Jim. We'll go to the 5th, 1-1. On Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. And by the all-new Mazda 3 with seamless connectivity. And in large part thanks to a great play by Leonis Martin again. An outstanding one last night. Did the same tonight. We have a 1-1 ball game as the Rangers come to bat here in the top of the 5th inning. Rougned Odor to lead things off. And then he'll be followed by the top of the order, Shin-Soo Choo and Elvis Andrus. Both teams with 1 run on 4 hits. No one has committed an error tonight. Here's Odor, who struck out his first time. He takes a breaking ball for strike 1. Here's that catch that ended the bottom of the 4th inning.
Scott had made a couple of nice pitches, a fastball up and in, a slider down and away to go to 0-2, but he did not throw the 0-2 pitch where he wanted to, but Leonis bailed him out.
Jonathan Scope giving that thing a pretty good ride.
He did. Fortunately, he went to the 4-10 sign. Same thing with Steve Pearce early in the game. He hit it to the one part of the ballpark where both those balls would stay in.
Rougned able to lay off the high fastball. It's 1-2. Odor at .269 with the average after his 0 for 1. Two balls and 2 strikes. Rougned making his 39th start of his first foray at the big league level. That pitch is skied down the right side, but well back and out of play. And the count remains even at 2-2. All of Odor's starts have come at second base. Still the youngest player at the major league level this year. This one pulled on the ground that Chris Davis plucks off the top of the dirt. That is out number 1, back to the top of the order. Now our Coors timeless moment. Rangers scored 12 runs in the 15th inning. That game in Oakland, a 16-4 win. That still is the record for runs in an extra inning in the major leagues. July 3rd, 1983.
Isn't that the game Bobby Jones had a big part in that rally? I remember him doing something in that big inning.
I know he was there.
Yeah, I think he did.
That thing, it seemed like it was going to go on forever. I remember sitting there doing that game, and 15th inning had the last 2 hours.
As long as you're doing the scoring, it's bearable.
That's right. Choo, fly ball pretty well hit to left center field. Jones going back. He is at the track. Goodbye. Shin-Soo Choo driving it off to left center field into the Oriole bullpen, and he gives the Rangers a 2-1 lead. There's your left-hander doing it to Chen.
There you go. And Chen has been giving it up to left-hand hitters this year. He's also been giving up a lot of home runs. That's the 15th home run he's given up in his last 12 starts. That's not the first ball this year that we've seen Shin-Soo hit like that. This ball right down the middle of the plate. We've seen a couple of them stay in the ballpark. That one went out of the ballpark.
So Choo with his 8th home run of the year. Rangers are on top, and here's Elvis. It's the pitch outside. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
And if Jones was ready to take a step and jump up over the wall if he had a chance, but that one was too high and too far.
Elvis shoots it out of play down the right side. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. No, you're right. That's not the first time we've seen Choo do that this year, and he has surprising power to that, the left and left center. Elvis chopping one foul the other way. Andrus 2 for 2 tonight, a pair of singles. now has allowed 2 runs on 5 hits. The first 4 and a third innings. 2-2. Elvis had come in to this game 0 for 10, but he's taking care of that pretty well. That's his 3rd hit, and he's going to try and stretch it to 2. Here comes a throw from Jones. The hit, first slide, he's safe. A hustling double for Elvis Andrus to go along with his 2 singles.
Well, he had to hustle, and he had to make a good slide because Adam Jones threw another strike to second base. He not only has a strong arm, he's got a very accurate arm. We're going to lose that one, but Buck will have a nice little conversation anyway with Laz Diaz. He'll come out, turn around, look at his dugout. He'll be motioned back, and nice talking to you, Laz.
Apparently he hadn't had a chance to say hello to him. And
I just want to apologize for the argument last night. Didn't mean anything I said. You guys were right. Buck got a little heated last night.
Yeah, he did. Still haven't heard what
I think he thought it was a foul tip. I'm not sure. But whatever it was, I also heard that he apologized to the umpires. So.
First pitch to Alex Rios is high for ball 1. Rios 0 for 2. Fly ball to center and a ground ball to second. Got Andrus at second. Rangers now with half a dozen hits against Chen. Alex trying to pick up an RBI, and that's something that he has not been able to do much of late. He drives this into right center field. Markakis over to his right. Makes the catch. Elvis tagging at third or second. He is going to third, and he is in standing. He almost didn't get back in time to tag. But Elvis getting the job done. He's now at third, but with 2 outs.
At first, I'm sure he felt like, hey, maybe that's in the gap and I'm going to have to score. Then he saw it hang up, saw Markakis go over, sprinted back, knew it was a long throw, and he still got to third base. This intentional walk makes sense.
Beltre is 1 for 2 tonight. Singled his last time up, but he's also been a demon against the Baltimore Orioles. So Buck Showalter are not taking any chances. He's going to put Beltre on and pitch to Leonis Martin, the left-handed hitter. Rangers now will have had 2 walks. 1 intentional, 1 unintentional from Chen this evening. The 4th wide one puts Beltre on first. So runners at the corners, 2 outs. Leonis Martin now an opportunity to extend the Ranger lead. It's 2-1 Texas. Beltre at first, Andrus over at third. Leonis Martin tonight has grounded to second and struck out against Chen. Batting average currently at .273. Leonis, who had gotten off to a very slow start on the road, has really turned things around. He's been a .320 hitter his last 16 ball games. That first pitch inside spins him around a bit. 1 ball and no strikes. Wei-Yin Chen trying to keep it at a 1-run Ranger lead. This is outside and low. 2-0. Leonis Martin now is probably taking the advantage of Chen facing a left-handed hitter away from him. Fall behind gives that left-handed hitter a chance to zero in on something away from him, probably.
Yep. Where you look for a fastball and don't be late.
In the air, shallow right field. Scope going out. Markakis coming on and Jones coming on. It's Adam Jones to make the grab. Side retired, but the Rangers take the lead. Shin-Soo Choo with his 8th home run of the year. They leave a runner. We're halfway through the ballgame. It's the Rangers 2 and the Orioles 1. Here on Fox Sports Southwest, where it's not about the score, it's about the experience. A lot of kids out tonight on this 3rd of July. Hope you have great plans for the 4th and for the weekend. Hope you all stay safe and enjoy a little Ranger baseball in there also. Rangers trying to snap a 4-game losing streak tonight. They lead 2-1 as Scott Baker goes back to the hill to face the Orioles, bottom of the order. And Flaherty to lead off here in the 5th. He hits one deep to right field. Rios back at the wall. It is off the wall. Rios has trouble with the carom. It's picked up by Leonis Martin, who gets it back in. And Flaherty, who almost duplicated his home run of last night, has a leadoff double.
It's not that far to right field, but because the wall is much higher, it's probably a little more difficult to hit a home run. If you hit a line drive, it's got a great chance to hit the wall. That's one that I think Scott tried to sink down and away, but it got up in the middle of the plate. Stayed in the ballpark, though, so he's got a chance to pitch around that leadoff double. See what Hundley tries to do with a man on second base and nobody out right here. He had a double to the gap in left center field the first time up. Lead off the inning and scored the Orioles run.
Well, 5 hits now for Baltimore. They've had 3 doubles and a couple of singles. Hundley had that double the first time, as Tom told you, takes inside for ball 1. Chris Jimenez didn't particularly like the location of that first pitch. That looked like a slider, and that was not supposed to be inside to the right-hand pitcher.
Scott got away with a pitch to Scope to end the 4th inning fastball that wasn't located where he wanted to. When he's made his pitches tonight, he's been extremely tough to hit.
Saw the pitch breakdown, 55 of them so far to Scott Baker, 39 strikes. There you go. That's where he wanted it. 1 ball and 1 strike to Hundley. Hundley, the veteran catcher. He's got Flaherty at second base, and Baker will check him back there. Ranger infield, maybe a step or so around to the right side, expecting Hundley to try and hit the ball that way with Flaherty at second. The 1-1 pitch. Dropped in a slider. It is 1-2. Baker a check of second. Only fouling it off. Trying to take that ball to the right side again. Hundley was with the Padres, and the Orioles acquired him back on May the 24th. Some left-hander Troy Patton out west. Hundley had hit .271 in 33 games in San Diego, but the Orioles really had a need. Matt Wieters suffering the elbow injury that eventually led to Tommy John surgery. They acquired Hundley to fill that up. That's well hit to left field. Going back his choice at the wall. It's off the top of the wall. Around third, into score is Flaherty. Into second with his second double of the night is Nick Hundley. We have a brand new ball game. It's tied at 2.
Do an off-speed pitch. Let's see. I think it's a changeup. They threw a changeup and just got it to the wrong part of the plate.
That was maybe a foot or so from going out.
Yep.
And Mike Maddox out there very quickly to talk to Scott Baker and Chris Jimenez. And while Maddox is out to the mound to get some action, some stirring in that Ranger bullpen, Ron Washington taking the notes on what's been going on here. So a 2-2 game. The go-ahead run now out at second base. Nick Hundley with his second double of the night. The Orioles now with 4 doubles and 6 hits. And here's Nick Markakis, who twice has grounded out to shortstop. Markakis, an identical situation to the last time he was up there. He had Hundley at second base, nobody out. Takes that first pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Hundley hit a chopper out to Elvis Andrus that Hundley read very well, was able to advance to third, even though the ball was not hit behind him. Baker, a long look in for the sign. Now the right-hander's ready. 1-1. Everything in this ball game is back to dead even. 2 runs on 6 hits for each club. The difference is the Orioles have Hundley at second base with the go-ahead run and nobody out. Out of the Ranger bullpen. Apparently the guys were just stretching out there and walking around because nobody's throwing yet.
They kind of sense when they might have to throw, and they like to stretch and get loose before it happens.
In the dirt, nice stop by Chris Jimenez. 2-1. Yeah, that's something a pitcher develops, that sixth sense of it's almost time.
Yeah. And they mostly, for the most part, know their role. What inning it is, they know which guy's going to be called upon. Who's pitched last, who's more rested, who will Wash be most likely to go to, and that's the guy that will get up and start doing some calisthenics and stretching exercises so that when the call comes, he's ready to get loose in a hurry.
Baker ready for the 2-1 pitch. Pop foul. Have to take a look, Chris Jimenez, but that's back over the screen now.
Well, over the years, I don't remember seeing Markakis swing at as many pitches way out of the strike zone as he has tonight. He swung at some pitches up and in that have been 8 inches off the plate. Again, that's exactly where Scott was trying to throw it, but Markakis swung at it anyway.
He's taking that idea of pulling the ball to the right side to an extreme.
Yeah. It was a little bit closer to the strike zone than I thought it was based on the swing.
Hundley out there at second after the RBI double for Nick Hundley. His 7th run driven in. Baker set for the 2-2 pitch. Hit pretty well to center field. Martin has a bead drawn on it. Tagging at second is Hundley. Here comes the throw from Leonis. The slide, he is just in there ahead of Beltre's tag. Leonis Martin made that very interesting. And Nick Hundley must have read the scouting report on Martin because he was not taking anything for granted.
No, there's most of the time on that ball you trot to third base, but not with Martin. He will throw that ball just a little bit higher and get it there on one hop. He maybe had a shot. That's a long throw. You don't expect it to even be close from way out there.
Not only a bullet, but was accurate. So, here we are again with Hundley at third, 1 out. Steve Pearce is the hitter, and again, the Rangers pull the infield in. Pearce in this situation in the 3rd inning looped a single to left field for the RBI. And the first pitch is off the glove of Jimenez. Coming down the line from third is Nick Hundley, and he slides in safely. Rod Washington out there, they're going to claim that ball hit the bat.
It had to hit something. It either hit the bat or hit him. No way that ball would have gone back to the screen like that.
The umpires are going to confer. Scott Berry, the home plate umpire. Jeff Nelson, the first base umpire, is the crew chief. So all 4 of them getting together.
Yeah, that ball hit the bat right off the top of the bat.
Sure did. Sure did. Now Buck Showalter is going to come out. They have just made everyone aware that it was a foul ball, and Buck is going to come out now and have a little something to say about it.
He's got to know that was a foul ball. He had to hear it from down there. If it hit the hitter, it would have hit him in the head with that kind of a noise, and it obviously didn't do that. Chris is just playing it out because he wasn't sure what the call was going to be. I think he knew what happened. He might not have known whether it hit his helmet or hit his back, but he knew it hit something.
Yeah. And Buck, as his say, he wasn't really animated like he was last night.
I think it's just having your say for the sake of having your say. Chris really didn't know what happened.
Yeah.
He knew he was about to catch it.
Yeah, that's pretty good marksmanship, though, for Scott Baker. To be able to hit a bat like that, hit a foul ball, that's a pretty good pitch.
It's an unfortunate strike on the hitter.
The 0-1, now the count to Pearce. Hundley back down the line at third, and Baker from the stretch. Into the gap in left center, Leonis Martin can't get it. 1 hop and off the wall. In to score is Hundley. Pearce with his 3rd hit of the night drives in his 2nd run, and the Orioles regain the lead. It's 3-2 Baltimore. 5th double of the night for the Orioles.
Well, we were talking about Pearce being hot in this series. Not any hotter than he is right now in this game. Got 2 ropes that have been doubles and a base hit for another RBI. That guy is hot. He's getting some good pitches to hit, too. That pitch, like it split the middle of the strike zone.
Well, 3-2 Baltimore. Pearce out at second. Here's Adam Jones for his 3rd at bat. Jones has had a single and been hit by a pitch. Steve Pearce now with 29 RBI. He has done a lot of damage in this series. Jones will foul back on a big swing. 0-1. Steve Pearce, 3 home runs and a couple of doubles tonight. 3 home runs in the first 3 games of this series. Aaron Porreta getting ready in the Ranger bullpen. Steve Pearce, though, just 155 at-bats officially this year. All the other players have been playing every day, up over 300 pitching the third. Pearce with 29 RBI and 10 home runs along with 14 doubles. That's pretty good production. One ball and 1 strike to Jones. Baker reading the signs, now has one he wants. 1-2. Jones, after that last swing, is knowingly nodding his head. So, yeah, okay. I'll give you that one. He was looking down at Wayne Kirby at first base and nodding his head. A ball and 2 strikes. Well, Baker unable to get together on the signs with Chris Jimenez. Over 24,500 on hand here tonight. This July 3rd at Oriole Park in Camden Yards. 1-2 pitch coming. 2-2 the count. One of those backup sliders. Fortunately, it backed up far enough that wasn't hittable. And another one up there that Jones fouled back to the screen.
And Scott, really since Scope hit in the 4th inning for the last out, he's just had a hard time getting them all down where he wants to get it. A lot of balls up this inning and out over the plate. All 3 doubles have been hit pretty hard. And even in this bat to Jones, that last pitch was not anywhere near where he was trying to throw it. Jones just missed it. When he's kept the ball down and made his pitches, then he's had a lot of success. When he's been hurt, he's just missed his target and hit the middle of the plate.
Another 2-2 pitch. That will make the count full. Pierce going back in on all 4s as Jimenez came up as if to throw to second base. Steve Pierce out there. Ooh, goodness, I'm going too far off. So the count is full now to Adam Jones. Jones trying to get aboard in front of the cleanup man, Nelson Cruz. 73rd pitch of the night coming up for Scott Baker. Popped him up. Adrian Beltre drifting into foul territory. That is out number 2. Baker able to get Jones for the first time tonight. Now Nelson Cruz coming up. Only 0 for 2 tonight. On the phone down to the Ranger bullpen just to make sure that Aaron Porreta is ready. I would assume if Cruz gets aboard that Porreta would be asked to come in to face Chris Davis, the left-hander. And they're going to go ahead and intentionally walk Nelson Cruz, so we will find out if that is the idea. So Cruz has been very much a run producer for these Orioles. Right at the top with 26 home runs, 68 RBI.
There's some kind of race going on for the home run and RBI leads in the American League. Abreu, Encarnacion, and Cruz all have 26 home runs. Encarnacion now leads in RBIs with 69, Cruz 68, Abreu 67, Miguel Cabrera 67. That's going to be a pretty good race in the second half. And the power numbers in the batting races.
And the fourth wide one is delivered. Cruz will be aboard. Now runners at first and second. Ron Watkins on his way out. That's going to do it for Scott Baker tonight. He wants the left-hander Pareda to come on. Baker goes 4 2/3. He leaves trailing 3-2. And 2 runners aboard are his responsibility. Aaron Pareda coming in. We will take a short timeout for this pitching change. We're back after this on Fox Sports Southwest. They're hot. They're playing very good baseball now. And so are the Orioles. Rangers trying to find some way to slow them down. Scott Baker with our Budweiser pitching line tonight. 4 2/3 innings of work, 7 hits, 3 runs, and 1 walk. That was intentional. A couple of strikeouts. And he leaves with 2 runners on base. His responsibility, and gives way to the left-hander Aaron Pareda.
Aaron's numbers on the season, good numbers. He's won a couple of games for the Rangers. He's come in from the left side and pumped his fastball in there at 95 miles an hour. Got to get Chris Davis right now. Then at first and second, try to keep this game at 3-2.
Pareda, the 27-year-old from Walnut Creek, California. Just inland from San Francisco Bay Area. Chris Davis 0 for 2 tonight. He has grounded out and been called out on strikes. Runners are on the move, and they will steal second and third as Pareda never even gave him a second look. Pierce to third, Cruz to second.
A lot of times you'll see that. Runners, managers taking advantage of a relief pitcher who comes in and his concentration is 100% on the hitter. Lets those runners get off to a huge jump.
High and outside, 2 balls and no strikes to Davis. Chris at 205, as we can see, 13 home runs, 41 RBI. What do you worry about with Davis? You need to be able to throw him a breaking ball for a strike. And stay outside. He has the ability to take the ball the other way, and with pretty good power. 2-0 pitch. There's the breaking ball.
What you're talking about?
Yeah. 2-1.
fastball count. Instead, you get the breaking ball. And really, to be successful in the big leagues for a long time, you've got to be able to do that.
Yep.
You've got to be able to throw something other than your fastball for a strike. As well as be able to locate your fastball where you want to throw it.
Davis rips that breaking ball that hung inside to him a little bit, but it's well foul. It got even for 2-2.
Hit the ball in the good part of the bat. Last year, that ball probably would have been fair and a long home run. This year, he kind of jumped at it, had a pretty good pitch to hit, didn't take advantage of it, pulled it foul. Right now, in the middle of the plate. Been too many of those pitches there for the Orioles tonight. Yeah. They were actually fortunate a lot of those doubles weren't home runs.
Chevy Tracker been in the middle of that zone too many times. Going outside, the count is now full. But Davis trying to extend this fifth inning. J.J. Hardy, the shortstop, will follow. Will it be this inning or will it be in the sixth inning? Jimenez with the signs. Pareda ready to go. Payoff pitch. Call strike 3. Davis frozen like last month leftovers. He is left standing at home plate, and that will do it. But the Orioles regain the lead. They get 2 runs on 3 hits and strand 2. We go to the 6th inning. It's now the Orioles 3 and the Rangers 2. Slam inning brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $700 and dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In. Tonight, the Rangers are hitting for Michael No from Sulphur Springs. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, Michael No from Sulphur Springs will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Now, Chris Jimenez to start things off here in the 6th inning. It'll be Jimenez, Pena, and Choice to face Wei-Yin Chen, who again has a lead with which to work. A 3-2 Oriole lead as the Orioles answered the single run the Rangers put up in the top of the 5th with a pair in the bottom of the 5th. Jimenez 1 for 2 with a double. Takes ball 1. Here's with that double in the 4th inning. That preceded an RBI ground out by Carlos Pena. That was for the first Ranger run of the night. 1-1 the count now. Popped up down the right side. A trio of Orioles in pursuit, but that ball is going to land right in the midst of 3 of them and out of play.
I was wondering what Bobby Jones did in that game against Oakland.
Yeah.
You're talking about with a huge explosion in extra innings. Bill Ziegler. Ranger historian, tells me he was 5 for 8 in that game. Could that be possible?
Yeah.
Must be if Zig said it.
If Zig said it, it has to be right. But yeah,
it's a pretty good day. 5 for 8.
Score 12 runs in an inning. There are going to be a few guys having.
He might have had 2 hits in that inning.
Yeah,
as well. 2 of those 5 hits might have been in that extra inning.
Jimenez lays off the high fastball. The count evens now at 2-2. I've got that in my old scorebook somewhere. Sure, it looks like a mess. All the scratches and everything in it.
Have you kept every one you've ever done?
Yeah.
Have you really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 2-2 pitch. That's ripped down the left field line, but it's hooking and then goes foul. And hop into the seats.
I've got the last 5.
Do you?
That I've done.
Yeah.
Last 5 score sheets from a week ago. Other than that,
I think it was the last 5 years.
No, the last 5 score sheets. Other than that, I don't have any of them. I had a giant stack of them, I think last year. I looked at it and I said, okay, what am I going to do with that? I went back and looked at a couple of them. I think I did save 2 or 3 of them. And I just got rid of the rest of them. I saved the one from the 30-run game.
Did you?
Yeah.
Hard hit ground ball, but right at Ryan Flaherty, the third baseman. Jimenez shot down and 1 away for Carlos Pena. Yeah, I would think you'd want to keep something like that around.
I actually wanted to get it signed, but you look kind of like a nerd if you go down as a broadcaster and ask the players for autographs, so I never did that. But it would have been a nice thing to have in frame.
You have Richard Price do it for you.
Nah, I couldn't do that.
He wouldn't give you any grief.
The only grief we get from Richard Price is we bring our golf clubs. He has to put those on the plane for us. I didn't want to press my luck.
Yeah, you don't want to leave your golf club someplace.
I'll get this signed for you, but you can't bring your golf clubs on the next trip.
Carlos Pena, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Now, he wouldn't say that.
But if he did, I said, forget the autographs. I want to bring my golf clubs.
He might try and charge you for it. Pena 0 for 2 tonight, but he has an RBI. Got the RBI on a ground ball in the 4th inning. 0-1 pitch from Chen. And the count is even.
Carlos has hit the ball on the good part of the bat twice tonight. Just missed a home run the first time up. And an RBI ground out to second with men on second and third. But a little bit of luck could have gone one way or the other. It would have been a two-run single.
Chen to the plate. High and tight. It's 2-1. But Carlos has had pretty good luck against the Orioles over the years. 72 career RBIs now against Baltimore. All those years down in Tampa Bay, and Carlos piling up the runs against the O's. Two balls and a strike, 1 out. Base is empty here in the top of the 6th inning. Chen to the wind. And a check swing looper foul over the Ranger dugout. Back into the seats. The count evens at 2-2. Carlos in a pretty good 0 for now. He's 0 for his last 17, but as Tom told you, he's hit the ball sharply a couple times tonight. Just doesn't have anything to show for it other than an RBI.
If you were the Orioles, wouldn't you have considered playing a day game today?
Yes.
With a day game tomorrow in Boston?
Yeah. I don't understand that. Pena caught looking as Chen came inside with a fastball. And way in Chen with his 3rd strike. I make that his 4th strikeout of the night. There are 2 gone.
Well, you can see the catcher's glove, and you can see the well-located fastball cut right back over the inside part of the plate. Right on the corner, it looked like. Good pitch by Chen.
Yeah, the Orioles have to leave tonight, and I don't think they're still sure about how they're getting up to Boston. But they have a 1:30 start tomorrow afternoon. Rangers at least have a night game tomorrow night at Citi Field up in New York. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't schedule a day game.
I guess they had a fireworks scheduled for tonight. That might have played into their decision.
3 Hopper out to Scope at second. To first, and that will do it. The Rangers retired in order. Wei-Yin Chen gets a couple of ground balls and a strikeout. Bottom of the 6th coming up in Baltimore. The Orioles leading the Rangers 3-2. Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Take the EcoBoost Challenge to see why Ford is the best in Texas. Now Aaron Porreta back out to the mound, and he will start the bottom of the 6th inning by facing J.J. Hardy. Hardy to be followed by Jonathan Scope and Ryan Flaherty. Orioles leading 3-2. They about hit the Rangers 7-6. More Ranger gear scattered throughout Oriole Park at Camden Yards. I think I'd like to be sitting right behind that guy trying to see, but that's okay. J.J. Hardy to lead off is 0 for 2 tonight. He has popped out and struck out. Porreta came on to get Chris Davis looking at a 3rd strike to end the threat in the 5th inning. But not until the Orioles had regained the lead with a couple of runs. 295 the average for J.J. Hardy. One ball and 1 strike. Ryan Mattis, left-hander we have not seen in this series. Wei-Yin Chen has worked the first 6. We'll see if Buck Showalter chooses to go to his bullpen in the 7th. Buck Showalter's club has won 3 in a row. They are now up over the 500 mark here at home. They're 22-21. Good breaking ball down and in. Hardy swinging over the top. 2-2. Porreta sets. Call strike 3. Hardy dejectedly walking back to the dugout, and Aaron Porreta has struck out both hitters that he has faced with a called 3rd strike. Now Jonathan Scope coming up. Let's take a look at the Progressive upcoming schedule. We will be in New York tomorrow at Citi Field. Darvish and Neese will be a 6 o'clock start for you on TXA 21. to the Mets for 3 over the weekend, then back home for the pre-All-Star game homestand. Houston for 3, the Angels in for 4. Schoop takes a pitch low for ball 1. Schoop tonight has popped out, and then last time up, robbed in a great running catch by Leonis Martin in deepest left center field. Good breaking ball from Pareda. He's probably had better command of that tonight than we've seen in his recent outings.
Some good ones.
Aaron most noted for that 96, 97 mile an hour fastball. It was tough when you only see it one time. 2-1 now, the count to Schoop. Right out of the University of San Francisco. Aaron, a long look in. Now the left-hander will step back off the pitching rubber. Pareda, a big guy at 6'6", was about 240 pounds. And Ben Rowan, submarining right-hander, loosening in a hurry in that Ranger bullpen. The 2-1 to Schoop. 2-2. Looks like he's able to throw that at a couple of different speeds tonight, too.
Schoop's definitely a good guy to throw it to.
Look at our Chevy pitch tracker back in action tonight. The 2-2 pitch. 96, and Schoop a little tardy pulling the trigger. I think we got some heartbeats going down there.
Yeah, watch out for the little ones.
Wow. The guy sitting there looking around like, what happened? Another 2-2. That will peel off into foul territory and go back about 3 rows. That's Rios able to take a look, but it's back out of play. Well, Pareda will try the 2-2 pitch again. Schoop is 22 years of age. The island of Curacao, and he has found a home for himself at second base for the Orioles. But we get a piece of that one. Spoiled a pretty good pitch by Pareda.
Further research into that game in Oakland, Buzz.
Okay.
Bill Ziegler and his son Ted came up with a 5 for 8. Kelly Donaldson researched a little more, and Bobby Jones did have a couple of hits in that extra inning. In fact, he had 2 doubles and 3 RBIs in that extra inning.
There you go. 2 doubles, huh?
2 doubles. Had another double and another RBI in the game.
Got him swinging.
Do a changeup for good measure.
And the strikeout completed with the throw to first, and that is out number 2.
It's a changeup. Let's see if it's a changeup or a slider. That's a changeup. He's faced 3 batters, struck them all out.
Pareda now will face Ryan Flaherty, left-handed hitter. Flaherty, a fly ball to right and a double to right. He led off the 2-run 5th inning for Baltimore with that double. About halfway up the wall, 21-foot high wall, and where the out-of-town scoreboard is. Takes a strike here. It is 0-1. Both those at bats against the starter, Scott Baker. Baker worked 4 2/3, 7 hits. All 3 runs were earned. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Just missed the outside corner. 1-1 to Flaherty. Beretta picks out a sign. The left-hander is set. 1-2. That's a pretty devastating combination. He's able to throw that fastball down and that breaking ball down also.
Flaherty's only hitting .214 for the season, but you wouldn't know it in this series. He's hit some balls hard.
Yeah.
The home run off Neal last night to give them the lead. Ball hard in the 5th inning of this game for a double.
Call strike 3.
Not that time,
No, sir, he did not. And Beretta has faced 4 hitters. He has struck out 4. 3 of them on a called 3rd strike. The Orioles gone in order. We have finished 6 innings. It's Baltimore 3 and Texas 2. First inning, he had a ringing double to dead center field. And in the 3rd inning, he drove in the first run of the night for Baltimore, a single to left field. That plated Nick Hundley. And then in the 5th inning, came back with this double to left center to plate Nick Hundley with the go-ahead run. He has done it all tonight for the Orioles. He is the main reason they are on top of this game, 3-2. Orioles 3 runs on 7 hits. Rangers 2 runs on 6 hits. Shin-Soo Choo accounting for that run in the 5th inning with his 8th home run of the year. The Orioles tonight, out of their 7 hits, 5 have been for extra bases, all 5 doubles.
And here's Brian Mattis on for his 37th appearance of the season, an ERA over 5. A little bit home run prone. He's given up 6 in only 29 innings. Opponents hitting almost 300 against him. Remember, Mattis was a top 10 pick in the draft a while back, anticipated to be a top of the rotation left-handed starter. Instead, he's morphed into a relief pitcher.
Rougned Odor breaking his bat. He chops out to Jonathan Schoop, the second baseman. So 1 pitch and 1 away.
Breaking ball down and probably a little bit out of the strike zone. Not much of that bat left.
But now Brian Mattis will face the top of the order. Shin-Soo Choo, who has struck out, walked, and homered. 1 for 2 officially tonight. The first pitch to him is a little bit low for ball 1. Choo now 8 home runs, 30 RBI. Mattis out of the University of San Diego. Back to the plate and fires a strike. We'll go back to the 5th inning. Shin-Soo Choo facing Wei-Yin Chen. Deep left center field, and you know when Adam Jones took off after it looked like he thought he was going to catch it. That ball just kept going, and Jones had to give up on it. Ball about 15 feet back on the bullpen. 1-2 now. Mattis just turned 26 yesterday, as a matter of fact. Born in Miami, still lives down there. It is the first round pick of the 2008 draft. Swung on and missed. Jew didn't know where it was. He takes off for first, and there will be no play. Unlike by the time he got to the ball, Jew was smoking it down the line, so he is aboard on a strikeout and wild pitch.
Bounced that ball up almost right off the plate. Went right through Hundley's legs. Wasn't able to block it with 2 strikes. Rangers catch a break right there. Get a base run around a strikeout. Buckle Showalter looks like he's intent on making a pitching change right here. Got some right-hand hitters coming up.
And the ever-present Darren O'Day, who we have already seen a couple of times in the first 3 games. See if that's who Buck Showalter wants to have come in and face Elvis Andrus. And Buck looking out that way, said, yep, give me the right-hander. So Mattis finished after a couple of hitters. He leaves with a man aboard and 1 out. And Darren O'Day, for the 3rd time in this 4-game series, will come into the game. Well, with the pitching change underway here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards, Baltimore on top 3-2. We're back after this. Played the 3rd game of a 4-game series against the Angels at Globe Life Park. It's also a chance to celebrate Eric Nadell's win of the 2014 Ford C. Frick Award. The first 15,000 fans 14 and older will get an Eric Nadell bobblehead with a recording of his iconic call of the play that sent the Rangers to their first World Series. And that's courtesy of Nitto Tire USA. Tickets are available at TexasRangers.com, or you can call 972-RANGERS. There's the newest member of baseball's Hall of Fame, the broadcasting wing, the Ford C. Frick Award winner, Eric Nadell on your right, Matt Hicks on the left.
And Darren O'Day, as you said, Buzz, for the 3rd time. Going to come in and throw his side-winding pitch. He's been doing it very well this year, to the tune of a 1.29 ERA. 34 strikeouts and 8 walks.
O'Day in this series has faced 6 Rangers and he has struck 4 of the mound.
See if he uses the same formula. Little slider, get me over for a strike on the outside corner. Which, at least in the first 2 times he's been in a ball game, is the one you want to tee off on.
Yeah.
Don't let him get ahead of you or you go to work.
Elvis, 3 for 3 tonight. A pair of singles and a double. He's got Jew at first, representing the tying run in this game.
There it is, outside corner.
That slurvy slider is in for strike one.
That one would have been tough to tee off on because it was well located on the outside corner. This could be some kind of a sinker down and in, maybe. Trying to get ahead 0-2. Then you go to the one that's a little bit higher.
Elvis waiting. That was the one that was up that time.
That was up and right down the middle of the plate.
0-2 now to Andrews.
He was trying to throw that one down and in. Now 0-2. He has the luxury of either throwing a big sweeping slider out of the strike zone or that high fastball up and away that's out of the strike zone where he tries to get the hitter to swing at it. Not like a secret to the hitter. It's just you can't do much.
Yeah, right.
Even though you might know his plan, but it's tough to counteract it.
On the right side, that Elvis had the right idea, trying to take that the other way.
Yeah.
And that was just far enough outside where he really couldn't get the good part of the bat on it.
A little more of the plate than he might have intended it.
Yeah, you're right. I thought that was further outside. Elvis faced Darren O'Day here on Tuesday night and went down swinging. Well, he's 1 for 6 lifetime against his former teammate. Jew at first, 1 out in the Rangers' 7th inning. Just outside. O'Day was dejected after that call.
Could have been.
Yep. Plate umpire Scott Berry refusing to throw that right hand up.
If he throws another one right there, I would suggest you swing at it this time because he might not get that same call.
To third. To second for 1. The return to first in time. They go around the horn with a 5-4-3 double play. And for the Orioles, their 99th double play turn this year. That's better than anybody in baseball. Rangers are gone in the 7th. Ron Washington waiting for Tim Bogart as they're getting their word from upstairs, and Wash is not coming out. So we'll go to the bottom of the 7th, 3-2 Baltimore. At a Rangers game. Get discounted tickets for Sunday, July 13th game against the Angels. That's the last game of that series. The first 1,000 fans receive a Rangers cap in orange and black Cowboy colors. Go to TexasRangers.com/OSU for details. The bottom of the 7th here in Baltimore. The Orioles with a 3-2 lead. Ben Rowan has now taken over on the hill for the Rangers. And Porreta worked a perfect 4 hitters. He struck all 4 of them out.
Yeah, that's about as well as we've seen Aaron throw the ball. Mixed in a changeup to get one of the strikeouts along with a good slider. And Ben Rowan pitching well since he joined the ball club. This will be his 8th ball game. Nice ERA. Going to come in and keep this game at 3-2. See if the Rangers can't sneak a run in the 8th or 9th inning, maybe 2.
Nick Hundley, a pair of doubles in 2 trips tonight. He takes from down under a high strike. 0-1. Hundley has doubled and scored in each of his first 2 times up tonight. His double in the 5th inning drove in the 2nd run of the game for Baltimore. He came around to score the 3rd run on the double by Steve Pearce. 1 ball and 1 strike. That ball hit hard, but it's right at Michael Choice, maybe 2 steps to his left. Boy, Hundley is squaring that thing up tonight. That's the first out. Ben Rowan knew he had a guy there. He had a guy there for 150 years or so. Left fielder stationed right where he should be. Back to the top of the Oriole order, and Nick Markakis, who is 0 for 3 tonight. Markakis, uncharacteristically, a very quiet series against the Rangers. First pitch from Rowan. 0-1. Markakis just 1 for 15 in these 4 games. Ben back to the plate. It's in that breaking ball right on the outside corner. 0-2. That's got to be a difficult adjustment. You know, we talked about the difficulty of adjusting a guy that throws 96 or 98. How about this stuff? With that kind of command?
Yeah. Well, there's been a lot of players that have had a hard time contending with Ben Rowan throughout his minor league career. You know, Ben has never had the luxury of a 95-mile-an-hour fastball where you always get the benefit of the doubt. He's always been in a position where he has to put the numbers up year after year at every level, and he's been able to do that. And so far, so good. He's putting the numbers up at the big leagues too.
Well, Markakis shoots one the other way, and that's going to be extra bases. Joyce over to get it, but into second with a double is Nick Markakis.
Got the ball in on him. He was late, got jammed, but he shot it right down the left field line and found a hole.
And that is another 2-base hit for Baltimore. We have 8 hits tonight. 6 of them have been doubles.
Let's see if Ben can put an end to Steve Pearce's night. Double, single, double, every one of them hit extremely hard. He's driven in a couple of runs tonight. Been the difference.
Orioles now with that last Markakis double. The 6 doubles in this game, the most the Orioles have had this year in a single contest. So not the home run machine that we saw the first 3 games, but just as effective extra base hits. A base hit to left field. Stopping at third is Markakis, and Pearce continues to swing the bat. He is 4 for 4 tonight. The Orioles with runners at first and third for Adam Jones.
Well, he's living a dream right now. We talked about him. He's a guy that's been around. He's played a lot of minor league baseball. And this is the first time in his career that he's gotten this opportunity. And he's gotten the opportunity because he's taken the bull by the horns and swung the bat and earned the playing time. He looks like a good hitter in this series. Every time he takes a swing, he hits it on the good part of the bat. Popped a few up in the series, but he has had very few bad at bats.
The Bears making a habit of having career highs in this series. A career high 4 hits tonight. Career best multi-home run game here on Monday night. He is continuing to get the job done in every conceivable fashion. Runners at first and third. Adam Jones 1 for 2 this evening. First inning single. In the third, he was hit by a pitch, and he fouled out last time. Rowan, a check of the runners. And Jones fouls that pitch down. One hop, and it came up. He got a little piece of Oakland umpire Scott Barrett. 0-1 to Jones. Scott Barry on the left hand. Rowan okays the sign. Tried that frisbee of a breaking ball, and it was just outside. A ball and a strike. Ben came on last night after the rain delay, an hour and 38-minute rain delay, and faced 3 hitters, gave up an intentional walk, but got both hitters out. Tossed to first. Got Jonathan Scope to ground out, and intentionally walked Ryan Flaherty. Got Caleb Joseph, the catcher, to pop out. That was in the 8th inning after we came back from the rain delay. Mike Maddox again on the phone to the bullpen. The 1-1 pitch. Now a ball and 2 strikes. Rowan also worked here on Monday night, the first game. That was one that Joe Saunders started. Rowan gave up a base hit to Delman Young, a walk to J.J. Hardy. He got a strikeout of Scope and a double play grounder from the catcher Joseph. A double play is what he's looking for right here from Adam Jones. Markakis at third. Pierce drawing a lot of attention over at first. To right center field. In a hurry is Rios. He makes the catch. Tagging at third is Markakis. He will score, and Adam Jones with the sacrifice fly makes it a 4-2 Baltimore lead. Adam Jones driving in his 53rd run of the year.
Pitch that's out of the strike zone low, but that's a good example of the kind of hitter that Adam Jones is. He doesn't walk, he swings at pitches out of the strike zone, but he can do something with them. A lot of guys that can go down and drive that ball into the gap like that on a pitch that's sinking well out of the strike zone.
Mike Maddox out to talk to Ben Rowan and Chris Jimenez. Neil Cox loosening in a hurry in the Ranger bullpen, and again, Cox probably available if you get to Chris Davis in this frame. Ron Washington and Tim Bogart, all too familiar scene in this series. Rangers down late and trying to stave off more Oriole damage. Here's Cruz, who was intentionally walked last time up. He is 0 for 2. He lined into a double play in the third, grounded out in the first. Pierce stayed at first on the sacrifice fly. He's on the move. The pitch is a ball. The throw down is high, and Pierce with a stolen base is now in scoring position. That's the 4th stolen base tonight for the Orioles. that might just have taken the bat out of Nelly Cruz's hands. We'll see if Ron Washington elects to walk Cruz and have Kotz come in to pitch to Davis. Jimenez out to talk to Rowan. Elvis Andrus will join the conversation on the mound. Just a little delay tactic to allow Kotz to get some more throws in. A 1 ball and no strikes. Now they're going to go ahead and pitch to him. Jimenez back now behind the plate. He will flash out the signs. Now he's back up. They're going to intentionally walk him. Well, the second time in a row now that Nelson Cruz will be given the intentional pass. And the fans not really interested in seeing the intentional walk. They will be interested, though, in seeing Chris Davis hit. Davis, no doubt, will face Neil Kotz. Rowan with the 4th wide one issued, and Cruz can walk on down to first. And Ron Washington making his way out to the mound. So he'll want the left-hander Kotz to come into this situation. You got Pierce at second. Cruz at first with 2 outs. A run across for the Orioles here in the 7th inning. They lead the Rangers 4-2. Ron, the slow walk out there, and takes the ball from Ben Rowan, and that'll do it for the submarining right-hander. So another pitching change underway here at Oriole Park in Camden Yards. Neil Kotz coming on. We'll tell you all about him right after this. Him in just a second, but first we'd like to show you our fan photo selection for the evening. Remember, you can tweet your photo in and maybe get it shown on one of our upcoming telecasts. From Russell, and there's Jim Knox right in the middle of things. Gee, that's a surprise. Actually having a good time with the folks. Thank you, Russell. We appreciate that. Glad you sent that in. Hashtag Southwest Fan Photo. We can select yours and get it on the telecast one evening. Well, Neil Kotz on now to take over, and he will work to Chris Davis with 2 on and 2 out.
Yep, Neil's numbers on the season. The Rangers are going to have a chance to come back in this game. He's got to get Chris Davis right here. Orioles have a very good bullpen. They have an excellent closer. It's a 2-run game. They have to keep it that way right now. They'll make some good pitches and get Chris Davis out.
Kotz first pitch to him. Line to center field. Leonis Martin coming in a hurry. It's down for a hit. Around third is Pierce. He will score. And Chris Davis going after the first Kotz offering. An RBI single. It is 5-2 Baltimore.
Well, it's a slider. It's out. but maybe up a little bit more than he would like it to. That allows Chris. He hit it right off the end of the bat. Maybe if he gets it down a little bit, he's not able to do that. He got it far enough away from him, but he was able to get the bat on it and find a hole.
So a very big run, very big 2 runs in this inning. But a very big add-on run by Chris Davis. Now 5 runs on 10 hits for Baltimore. And still runners at first and second. J.J. Hardy, who is 0 for 3, now faces Cox. Almost all the way to the backstop. Chris Jimenez really having to come up out of that crouch to make that grab. Get your shoulder pulled right out of your socket. Hardy, a couple of strikeouts tonight, also a pop-out. Got Cruz at second base, Chris Davis at first. Going inside, 2-0. Cox took the loss in last night's ball game, gave up the home run to Ryan Flaherty leading off the 7th inning. He has entered in the 7th inning here, and he has 2 aboard with a run across and 2 outs. Fires a strike, and it's 2-1. Deal okays the sign, a check of the runners. 3-1 to Hardy. I guess Neal would fall in the same category as almost everybody on the ball club from time to time. The inconsistency a bit. Neal last year was as steady as you could possibly imagine coming out of that bullpen, and this year it just hasn't been there for him. And I guess the only one that really is seemed to be immune from that in the Ranger bullpen has been Joakim Soria. Looper to right. On comes Rios. The ball hangs up for him. Alex able to track it down. That'll do it. But the Orioles scored 2 big runs on 3 hits, and they strand 2. We go to the 8th, 5-2 Baltimore. Will start off the Ranger 8th inning. Rangers now trailing by a 3 spot. It is 5-2 Baltimore. It's going to be Rios, Beltre, and Martin to face Darren O'Day. O'Day came on to get the ground ball double play off the bat of Elvis Andrus to end the Rangers' 7th. Now Rios 0 for 3. We'll start things off in the 8th. Takes a sinking fastball for strike 1. Alex tonight has flied out twice and grounded out. O'Day, the third pitcher used by Buck Showalter this evening. Wei-Yin Chen started. Worked the first 6, gave up both runs on 6 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Ryan Mattis came on to work a third of an inning. Had 1 strikeout. O'Day and keeping that ball down, as that pitch tracker will show you, right at the bottom of the zone. Check swing looper foul over the Orioles dugout. The count remains 0-2. $24,535 on hand here tonight. Orioles not drawing as well as they have, although say on the weekends it really fills up here. Still 0-2. Orioles about $1.3 million or so this year. Remember when the Spark opened in '92 that you couldn't get a ticket. It was sell out virtually every night.
It's a great ballpark. Tremendous setting. Good fans here too.
Didn't want to do it. It's a foul tip and into the glove of Nick Hundley. And that is a strikeout for Darren O'Day. Adrian Beltre coming up. Let's head back for a Mazda game break with John Radigan. John? All right, John, thank you. Here, the Orioles leading the Rangers 5-2. Here's Beltre, a rip and a miss on that slurve outside. 0-1. Adrian, an intentional walk, a single, and a ground out. 1 for 2. And average now up another tick at 336. O'Day back to him. And a ground ball out to short. Steady J.J. Hardy on to first. That is out number 2. Leonis Martin coming up. Let's check in with Emily Jones, Em.
Well, plenty coming up on the Rangers Live post-game show, brought to you by Esurance. Of course, John and Mac and Jim will all be at Globe Life Park in Arlington to bring you the latest from the sleepover. I will be in the clubhouse talking to Ron Washington after this one goes final before we head to New York for 3 against the Mets. And speaking of that sleepover, a big hello to everyone there at Globe Life Park in Arlington from Baltimore. Almost time to hit the road and head north just a bit. Hope you all are having a fantastic time.
All right, Em. Yep, ditto from us, too. Here's Leonis Martin, 0 for 3 tonight. A ground out, a strikeout, and a fly out. Darren O'Day pumping in strikes at all varying speeds, varying locations.
The Rangers haven't had much of a chance in this series against Darren.
No.
He's thrown 13 pitches, and 12 of them have been strikes. The only one that wasn't a strike was borderline.
That in on Leonis' fist. 0-2.
He's getting a pretty steady diet of balls in on his fists.
About all you can do is one of two things. You can either get the head of the bat out quicker or lay off it. I don't know any other way to combat that.
Yeah, right now he's having a hard time combating it. Most of the balls he's hitting are off the handle.
Another one that got in there, and he fights that off foul.
Yeah. I think the solution for that pitch is don't swing at it.
Yeah. Here's our Fox tracker showing you the location of those. Darren O'Day staying up and in, but up primarily.
Well, the other day they threw him up, and the one pitch they threw down, he didn't get a hit, but he hit it hard to first base.
Stoke, quick release, and that'll do it. Rangers gone in order. O'Day sends them down 1-2-3. After 7.5, the Orioles 5, the Rangers 2 on Fox Sports Southwest. Will be up in the Big Apple tomorrow night, 6 o'clock on TXA 21. The Adrian Beltre and the Rangers taking on David Wright and the New York Mets at Citi Field. Our first chance to view Citi Field. A lot of rave reviews about that ballpark. We'll see it firsthand tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon. And speaking of the Mets, how about the DirecTV standings? I'll show you the National League East, of which the Mets are members, and they are also tied for fourth down there at 37 and 48, so 11 games under 500, 10 games behind Atlanta, tied with Philadelphia. And the Rangers do not come back and win this ball game, they will be 37 and 48 going into play tomorrow night.
Coming in to pitch for the Rangers in the 9th inning is Sean Tollison. Those are Sean's numbers on the season. Sean, the 4th reliever for Ron Washington tonight. Pareda, Cox, Rowan, and now Tollison.
Tollison throws a knee-high strike to Jonathan Scope.
There definitely hasn't been anything resembling rain. We started late at 8 o'clock. It's almost 11 o'clock here now.
Tapper off the mound is Tollison, and he throws Scope out, one gone. And that'll bring up Ryan Flaherty. Yeah, it drizzled just a little tiny bit early in the ballgame, first and second inning, and since then it's cleared. At least the radar is cleared up. No rain echoes.
What we heard before the game was there was a window of somewhere between 1 and 3 hours. This game's about 3 hours old,
yep.
And that window is at least 3 hours because there's no rain in sight right now.
Must be a double window. Here's Flaherty, who has a double in 3 trips. Tollison missing outside for ball 1. Flaherty doubled and scored in the 5th inning. He was the one that got that 2-run 5th started for the Orioles. That double high off the wall in right field. 2-0 as Sean misses high. Orioles 5 runs on 10 hits tonight. Rangers 2 runs on 6 hits. Neither team has committed a miscue. Line drive to right. Here comes Rios. He has to put the brakes on. And he's able to keep the ball from getting by him. Second hit of the night for Ryan Flaherty. A one-out single has him aboard here in the 8th inning. And Nick Hundley coming out.
Catcher number 4, Nick Hundley.
The 11th hit of the night for the Birds. Nick Hundley has 2 of those. He has doubled twice tonight. He's 2 for 3. Hit the ball right on the nose all 3 times. Last time up, he lined to left field.
This is one of those nights where most of the hits, almost every one of them, has been well hit. Markakis snuck a little dinky ground ball down the left field line in the last inning, but other than that, just about all of them have been well hit.
Adam Jones had that single back in the first inning.
That's
got
right.
a little blooper to right, but
Off the hands.
he was about due to have a blooper. Thomason able to get that breaking ball over to Hundley. 0-1. That will even things up. Hundley digging back in that right-handed batter's box. Has had a very good series, this homestand, I should say. This is the first game that he's played in this series, but on this homestand, and this is the 11th game of the stand for the Orioles, their last one on this 3-team homestand. Hundley now with 2 more hits tonight has gone 7 for 14. And he's had a home run, the 2 doubles, and he has driven in 3. Down on the count to Tollison, and 1 ball and 2 strikes. Got him swinging. Well, unable to heat him up upstairs. And Tollison gets strikeout number 1 for himself. And now Nick Markakis will come up. Markakis doubled and scored his last time up there. That was in the 7th inning. It proved to be a very big run. It got the lead up to 2 runs from a 3-2 game. It made it a 4-2 game. Flaherty at first. The pitch is outside for ball 1. Markakis hitting at an even 290 now. Pitch just a little bit low. It's 2-0. Scott Baker, Aaron Porreta, Ben Rowan, Neil Kotz, and Sean Tollison taking on the Orioles tonight. Scott Baker making the spot start in favor of Yu Darvish, who will throw tomorrow night. In case you missed the explanation a little bit earlier, the Rangers were told that there's a window of anywhere from 1 to 3 hours for the rain to stay away. And they felt better part of discretion would be to have Yu Darvish not work 2 or 3 innings tonight and maybe lose him for a full start. Let him be pushed back and start tomorrow. Scott Baker made the spot start.
Yeah, the weather evidently is not that great in New York. Might be facing the same thing tomorrow.
Could be.
Not sure what the forecast is for tomorrow night.
Three and 1 to Markakis. If Nick is able to keep this 8th inning alive, Steve Pearce is waiting in the on-deck circle. You just soon not see Steve Pearce again. Markakis a drive over the leap of Odor into right field. Flaherty puts the brakes on at second, and he gets back just ahead of the tag by Elvis Andrus. Markakis with his 2nd straight hit. And Tollison is indeed going to have to deal with Pearce.
That just couldn't quite reach that ball. It was about a foot over his glove. And Pierce going for a 5-hit night. He's had 2 doubles. He's had 2 singles. He's driven in a couple of runs. Figure out a way to get him out.
Mike Maddox out there to see if he can come up with something to help Sean Tolleson out and Chris Gimenez out. See what they can do with Steve Pierce. A 2 aboard with 2 away, and Pierce a pair of doubles, a pair of singles, 2 runs driven in, and he has scored a run. He's also stolen a couple of bases. That's a pretty busy night.
Very good night. I think it'd be pretty difficult for him tonight to improve on what he did the first 3 games of this series. He had a game where he had a couple of home runs. He hasn't hit a home run tonight, but can't quarrel with the night he's having. He's going to have 5 hits right here.
Yeah, Pierce now 7 for 14 in the series. And first ball swinging, pops it foul. That will reach the seats over the Oriole dugout. 0-1. Tolleson trying to get the ball in on him and got it in there, it looked like.
First came into the game hitting .322. He's hitting .340 now.
Tommy Hunter and Zach Britton. Hunter, of course, the right-hander. The Oriole bullpen.
It's a save situation. It'll be Britton. If not, it'll be Tommy.
1 ball and 1 strike to Pierce.
First 6 weeks of the season would have been the exact opposite.
Yeah. Yep.
Tommy Hunter was the closer.
There have been quite a few closers that have changed roles this year.
Yeah.
And another foul off to the right. It moves the count to 1-2. Ernesto Frieri with the Angels not only lost the closer's job, he lost the spot on the Angels club.
Jason Grilli.
Jason Grilli. Yeah, they changed the Pirates and Angels traded their former closers.
There's a great story on the radio today. They got traded for each other, and they were at the airport, and they both went to the bathroom right before they got on the plane and bumped into each other going in different directions at the same airport.
I thought you were going to say neither one of them could close the door. Bada bing. It's small world with baseball. Tolleson peering in for the sign. Sean has one. And a check of the runners. Another foul ball. And Tolleson really trying to stay in tight with the fastball on Pierce. He's had pretty good success so far.
Jim Johnson saved 50 games for the Orioles last year. The A's acquired him in the offseason, paid him $10 million. He lost the closer's role in Oakland about 3 weeks into the season. Grant Balfour having a bad year.
Again, fighting off that inside pitch. He refuses to lay off it, and he refuses to not make contact. Foul balls. Tolleson now about to throw his 21st pitch of this inning. He's going to have Chris Gimenez come out and discuss things for a moment.
Closers who have had really good seasons. Fernando Rodney, one of the reasons the Seattle Mariners are having such a good season. He leads the league in 24 saves. Greg Holland is an automatic. Glenn Perkins from Minnesota is having a good year. We saw him the other day. Get a save, strike out the side.
Got him swinging.
Finally.
Well, he came with a breaking ball that stayed up and got Pierce. So that'll do it. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. Rangers will come to bat in the 9th inning, trailing the Orioles 5-2. The Wolf present the Country Combo. The package includes a ticket to both games featuring post-game country concert sponsored by Budweiser. On Friday, July 25th, the Turnpike Troubadours take the field after the A's and Rangers finish playing. Then on Saturday, August the 16th, Joe Nichols plays following the game against the Angels. Package starts at just $28. You can get yours at TexasRangers.com/Wolf and use the online coupon code WOLF. And the Rangers coming up now in the top of the 9th inning, and they will face the Orioles closer, Zach Britton.
We've seen Zach Britton in this series, and we've seen him throw extremely well. He has a mid-90s hard, heavy sinker that he throws. It's an exceptional pitch. David Lowe will take over in left field for Steve Pearce.
And Britton will face Chris Jimenez to start off the Ranger 9th inning. They trail 5-2. Britton fires a strike at the knees. Jimenez 1 for 3 tonight. A 4th inning double, sandwiched in between a fly ball and a ground out. Britton has worked 2 innings in this series. He has struck out 3. Fly ball to center field. Going back is Jones. Still going back. He is at the wall. It's off the wall. The throw to second base not in time to get the hustling Chris Jimenez, who has his 2nd double of the night.
Well, that's something you don't see very often, is someone get the ball up in the air and almost hit it off out of the ballpark against Zach Britton. He has given up a couple of home runs, but 43 innings total. That one had a chance to get out of here, and it hit about 3/4 of the way up the wall.
So with the left-hander Carlos Pena scheduled, Ron Washington has gone to his bench and has come up with Robinson Chirinos as the pinch hitter. Chirinos, the other half of the Ranger catching tandem, a .248 hitter now. He has 7 home runs. He has driven in 28. Takes a strike from Britton. Rangers now with 7 hits this evening. Way inside and low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Chirinos 2 out of 7 in this series with a double. Brings in a modest 3-game hitting streak that's seen him go 5 for 10 with that double and a home run. Chopper foul. The count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Zach Britton, a Weatherford native, grew up in the Metroplex. Now toiling for the Baltimore Orioles. Started out as a prospect starting. They went to the bullpen, and I think you could say the Orioles have made a pretty good choice. Zach Britton's turned into a great closer. Call strike 3. Chirinos caught window shopping on that inside fastball. That's out number 1.
He throws it in the mid-90s, and a borderline pitch. There's a strike then. There's a little bit of mist starting. Also, maybe they were right in that 3-hour window. That's how the grounds keeper talking to the umpires between innings.
Michael Joyce takes the first pitch in at the knees for strike 1. At 95 mile-an-hour changeup. Joyce has grounded out twice and popped out. Average now at 173. Michael scuffling lately. He was just 5 for his last 62. Chopper out towards short. Chris Davis looked a little awkward catching that ball, but he got the job done staying on the bag for out number 2.
A little off balance. It looked like he scooped the ball, but then in the replay, he caught the ball in the air. He just his feet a little tangled up.
So 2 gone now. The last hope for the Rangers. Rougned Odor. They need to get one more base runner to have the tying run come to the plate. Odor 0 for 3 tonight. A couple of groundouts and a strikeout. Jimenez away from second base. And Odor takes a ball high strike. Maybe a little higher than ball high. Hundley sending that target outside. The 0-1 pitch. Dropped to short. Hardy to Davis. And the Orioles have completed a 4-game sweep of the Rangers. Final tonight 5-2. The Orioles completely manhandling the Rangers in this series. 9 home runs and a team high 6 doubles tonight. They defeat the Rangers by 3 runs. So we will take a break, come back, and wrap things up from Oriole Park in Camden Yards right after this on Fox Sports Southwest.